Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Hashondra Smith. She is an author and a speaker, and also the co-owner of the Pink Group, a branding and marketing team. Welcome to the show, Hashondra.
I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Hashondra. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll be talking about how one can be authentic, how can one be their authentic self, how they can rediscover, self-discover about themselves and be the best version of themselves. So first, to understand your journey itself, tell us a bit about your journey, Hashondra, so that the audience knows directly from you who is Hashondra Smith, what she is all about.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to say is that I am a spark, that person who comes into the lives of others just to spark the fire that's already within. I know that everybody has their authentic self within them already. And so what I do is help people to pull that out of them who don't quite understand how to do that. So I have a lot of titles, but that's the title that I pride myself on the most.
Absolutely. So in terms of when you say authentic self, how should people understand authentic self? Because everyone will look at their authenticity differently. How do you see it, so that for yourself especially, so that people can see if it matches with their version of authenticity?
Yeah, so as you said, everybody's going to see themselves differently, but it's how you see yourself that's important. And one way that I learn about myself, about the authentic Hashondra, is just by talking to myself, listening to myself, and gracing myself. That's something that I do every single day. Talk to myself, see what I'm feeling, what am I saying? Am I speaking negative words? Am I speaking positive words? Listening to myself, like I just said, seeing how I'm talking to myself, and then gracing myself in those feelings. And when I say gracing myself, this is where I am at the moment, but I have the power within to change that. So as you're journeying into trying to just discover the authentic version of you, that's something a tool that I like to tell clients and people in general. Just talk to yourself. Tune out those other voices that are not making sense, that's making you question you even more, and sit with yourself. Sit with yourself in that moment and listen to what you're saying to yourself, and be graceful to know that we're put here to live. We're put here to live our lives, and life is a journey. We take it day by day, step by step, moment by moment, and that's all we can do.
Absolutely, Hashondra. So being authentic is about what? Is it about our thought process? Is it about how we dress, about wear? Is it about the food we eat? Is it about our faith? What is this authenticity? How do people look at our authenticity? How do we look at others' authenticity, and almost people judge? So how do they actually evaluate and not judge? Help us understand these so many confusions or dilemmas about authenticity. And that is where one also difficult becomes, whether they become their authentic self or wear a mask. That's the problem nowadays.
Mm-hmm. It really is a problem. And I think that's just because of societal views. And as you said, what areas, and it goes for all areas, but there's something I like to remind people: you can't be great at everything every day, but you can still be great. So I'm not the best mom every day, but I might be like the best business owner that day. I'm focusing on my business, making strategies and plans. I'm working with clients. We're fixing issues. But I may have said, I love you to my children this morning. Have a great day. And that's all. Then other days, I am the best mom. We are taking a vacation. I am, imparting things into them. We're having conversation and just being that authentic me in that moment. I think that sometimes we go so far into the future and trying to be great at everything or authentic at everything that it distracts us from our now. So when I do my meditation, I'm working on my spiritual. When I'm working with my children or being with my children, I'm working on my title as mom. When I'm with my nonprofit foundation and I'm working with the women there, then I'm working off that title. So we have to take those titles with the understanding that we just have to be in that moment. That's your authentic self. And that goes with, kind of attaches to self-love as well. When you're talking about the opinions of others, I was telling my daughter the other day, I said the most important opinion that you can ever have is the opinion of yourself. Other people have the right to have a thought about you, but you don't have to accept their thought, because their perception is going to be their perception, period. And that goes to racism, that goes to culture bias, that goes to religious preferences. We have to understand that we just have to focus on ourselves and really impart respect for self and respect for others. You don't think the way I do, you may not act the way I do, but this is me. You may not like it, but I just need you to respect it. You may not agree with it, but still respect it. And when we turn the words on ourselves and we deal with ourselves and we grace ourselves, that allows us to grace others as well. And that's something that we really have to deal with in our communities, in our homes, and in our world in general.
Absolutely, absolutely, Hashondra. Now, in terms of, when people talk about authentic self, uh, I, as an individual, will also look at where am I deriving my strength from, because I might be doing several things at the same time, but my strength comes from only a couple of things. How should I look at myself in terms of my accomplishments? Is it about the medal that I win? Is it about the way I think about myself? How does it work? Where does my authentic self meet my accomplishment, and what is this accomplishment all about, so that you really come out as the person you are?
So one way that I do is I have a measuring stick. I use my measuring stick and I put it towards the plans that I've created. But I also use that measuring stick in those plans to tell myself, okay, what's going on through this period of time? What has hindered you from achieving these goals, or what has pushed you towards achieving this goal faster than the time frame that you set? So just using that measuring stick just to kind of line up where you are, where you want to be, but also, again, gracing myself to know that life happens. We have to understand that as individuals, to be our authentic selves is understand that life happens, and we don't have to measure our authenticity by the measuring sticks of others. Well, you're supposed to have children by this age, and you're supposed to have a house by this age. You're supposed to have your family developed by this age, and your career should be by this age. So just wiping out those things, because your childhood may have caused so much drama that you wasn't able to complete school. So now you're in a better mindset. You want to be authentic version of you. You want to be a better you, but you have to get your GED. So that pushes you societally back from where most people are who's graduated from high school and graduated from college. But look at those things that you've been through that's caused you to society be in a position where you're not supposed to be. And I'm putting that in quotations because that's not your journey. So just focusing on your journey, understanding your journey alone, and taking it unapologetically.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, when we talk about the authentic version of ourselves, or the best, do you think it's a one version, or this version keeps on refining itself? We keep on rediscovering our authentic self as we go along, or is it only one version and that's the full stop?
I believe that we continuously change. We continuously evolve into a better version of ourselves because we're continuously having experiences. We're continuously learning more. And one thing that I like to remind myself is I have the power to change or believe what I once believed. I don't have to believe that anymore. I was just thinking in the shower this morning. I said, I really like the color blue. Blue is my favorite color, right? But I started thinking, I said, I don't think blue is my favorite color anymore. And sometimes even things just as tiny as a color, we are scared to just change the fact that blue's no longer my favorite color. This is no longer the version of me, and I'm okay with that. And so I literally thought this morning, I think my favorite color just might be green now. At this age, my favorite color might be green, and I'm getting comfortable with myself just with that, of knowing my favorite color changed. So we continue to evolve, we continue to learn, we continue to develop, and as we develop and we start to become ourselves, we also begin to wean out what was placed inside of us by others, and knowing that we're living their thoughts and their actions besides living our own. So just weaning those things out also help as well with just being comfortable of evolving. So I think that people just continue to evolve into the best version of them. I never think that it ends, and I believe that energy never dies. So even when we're in another place, or however you believe, our energy still remains here. Our voices, our books, our music, our conversations with people, it never dies. We continue to evolve long after.
Right, right. So I want to understand a bit about your mission. What is it that you want to bring to the people? What is it that you want to convey to the people through your all sort of messaging that you do in whatever way? We'll come to your book after that.
Okay, so what I like to impart into people is service. That's one of my main things, is service. When we service others, we service ourselves. And we're selfish because, I have to sleep, I have to eat, I have to make sure that I'm in my own mind frame so that I can give to others properly. So the main mission is for me to be an example, to service, and then to encourage other people to be their authentic selves and to service as well. And that's why the name of my business is Don't Overthink Me LLC. Don't overthink yourself out of being yourself. Just be, because we do it in service to the world when we try to be someone else. If you're supposed to be the person that's guarding the door, then be the guard. Your job is important. Your position and your place is necessary. Don't try to be the king or the queen, because they need to be them, because they may do a horrible job at being the guard and keeping everybody safe, but their mind may work in a place where they can run a kingdom. So knowing our place, knowing our position, and just teaching people or allowing people to discover themselves in that safe place. And one place that I do that is through the Manifested Deliverance Foundation. Everyone who's attached to the Manifested Deliverance Foundation has their own dream, their own vision, and they're just able to sit in that atmosphere of a safe place and discover themselves authentically. Getting mad the right way is what we call it.
Absolutely. And when we talk of message, let's talk about your books. Both your books, what is the message that you give through your books? What can people learn from you through your books?
So my book, Unattached, the final season, is me discovering the authentic me in the area of romantic love. Took me 20 years. So it's just my personal journey from a teenager up to an adult, actually talking about that growth process, how my mind changed in a sexual tense, in a spiritual tense, also in a physical manner. Because it was one point I was really depressed, had a lot of health issues, lost some weight now, came down on the weight, just taking a whole nother mind frame of not even losing weight to look better, but to be better. Because when you're healthy, your mind is healthier. When your mind is healthier than people around you, they discover that they can have a healthy mind as well, by example. So when you read the book, you get my story, and also there are journaling pages inside the book where you can begin to write your story. You can begin to, look at your words, see if your words are the same. Are you complaining about the same thing over and over again for the last 10 years? Are you having the same voice, or are you evolving to a bigger voice and becoming a better you? So once you read the book, you're really going on a journey with me while you're taking your own.
Absolutely. And who is this book for? Have you targeted through your book?
So Attached, I always tell people, Attached, my first book was for me. That was my way to release and to get some things inside of me out of me. Unattached, the final season, is for the world. One thing that I love about Unattached, the final season, and the workshops Unrambling Me, a journey of self-discovery that goes along with the book, is that it's universal. It's for everybody, and it's customizable. It can be personalized to different groups. I've had the privilege of speaking to teenagers between the ages of 12 and 19, and also speaking to mature women between the ages of 30 to 70. I've had the opportunity just to speak to young men as well. So it doesn't matter. There's something in this book for everyone. I don't believe that there's anyone that can read this book and not draw some type of point out of it that's going to allow them to become a better version of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you talked about your way, losing a bit of way. Even I lost my way so many times. But you see, the good part of people coming out on, when you get onto the way, you start walking. And when you walk, you might lose some, but then you find your destination. You can't just sit back, hold yourself back in some comfortable corner and just be there. Then you will be nothing more than a vegetable. So it is always better to get onto the road and find the path that is the best for you. And that is what I guess I can tell that you did. And it takes a lot of courage to do that, Hashondra.
Yes. And even if you're on that road and you have to take a break, take a break. Sit on the side of the road, take a break, but get back up and keep journeying.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so there is so much to learn about your journey from you, about you, and a lot of people who would like to know more about you, from you, through about your company. What is the best way for them to connect with you, Hashondra?
So the best way is through my website, which is www.hashondra.me. There you will find everything that I do and everything that I'm attached to.
Wonderful, wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You too.